Hi everybody, my name is Tim Ralston, and I wanted to make a quick video. I had a chance to do some TV work that really tried to depict what was in this bag, but it was so quick it didn't really do it any justice. And I got more questions and more emails than I did explaining it on television. So I thought I would take my time on YouTube and really kind of go over everything that's in my bug out bag. Now, this is really intended for the people that don't even know what a bug out bag is or what it's intended for or what it does. Okay, so if you already have a bug out bag and know everything, then you should definitely click off of this. But you know, in my book, nobody knows everything, and you can always learn stuff. And hopefully you're going to get a couple good pointers from it, and you know, you never know what it could be. Start off, I always like to show this. Yeah, I think everyone has seen this, but people may not know what it's all about. This is a Crovel. For me, on a bug out bag, weight is everything, and that's already pretty darn heavy. But there's some essential tools that I really love to have in the wilderness. An axe is one of them, a machete is another one, I like both of those, and a shovel. It's a necessity. This kind of combines all of those. The Crovel is really an e-tool on steroids, honestly. This one is the Crovel Extreme. You've got 10 gauge heavy duty steel here, pretty sharp edge. You can put even a sharper edge on this to wherever you want. Saw blade, bottle opener. It also acts as chair. There's a lot of other features. This is an ADS or an ADZE hammerhead, which gives you a really good hammering surface, as well as I have on here a zombie spike. It also comes with a flat plug, so it'll look more like this, just a plug. But what it does is it kind of covers up the opening, which allows you to store more products in here. Now for me, what I've done is I've stored a little survival filter straw. I've made a knife that is also basically a file, so I'm able to keep the edges really tight and sharp, as well as take the hammerhead or the shovel head off if I need to use just the hammerhead by itself. And it gives me a good camp knife. It's very sharp. These are, you know, have high carbon in them, so that it really holds an edge. It's a really nice little tool. And for me, I also want fire. You know, you can't have enough of these around. This is an Aurora fire starter. Made in the USA. This made in the USA. I'm really into anything I can get that's made in the United States, something that's strong. You know, this is one of those things that is going to last a lifetime. You'll hand this down from generation to generation. So this definitely by far one of the best tools that I have in my pack that I carry with me. I also have on this side a Crovel Tactical, held on just with the little D-rings over there, which is really nice because it, you know, for me, multiple uses is really important. If my product or what I have can't serve more than one function, I really don't want to just carry it. You know, so for people that are saying, gosh, you know, there's probably a better shovel. Yeah, there is a lot better shovels. There's probably a lot better axes. There's a lot of better saws. But I don't want to carry all those things. So I'd rather have something that can do a good job, not the best job, but a good job at all the others, and not carry as much equipment. This is the Crovel Tactical. Now this one is really unique. Got the Kydex cover on there. This one is 2.5 pounds lighter. This is really meant more for, you know, taking care of a door, or a rock, or whatever the case may be. It's still got that crowbar feel to it. This is a hollow tube steel, but when you think it's lightweight, or I mean a lightweight, not strong, that's wrong. This is a 1/4 inch wall thickness, and this is actually a full thing of steel that goes about 2.5 inches. And what that does is it makes this head really strong. Again, 10 gauge steel, serrations on one side, kind of an axe blade on the other. And this one is, you know, really weighted to be thrown, so you could throw it like a machete or an axe, but it really does a number. So I like this one on my pack to carry because it's, you know, it's only 2.5 pounds, but it does take the place of a lot of other tools. So this one just came out, and I really like this tool a lot. I know you're probably noticing this. This really, for me, is just a prototype, but I don't even know really what to call it. Let me set this down. Again, multi-uses. For me, it's a close quarter combat weapon. as a knife, or to be able to work in the camp. You know, it's a smaller blade, but it's actually bigger than a hatchet, and not as big as a machete, kind of in between. Tanto blade, really thick, hard steel. I mean, it's full tang all the way back to the handle, and it's weighted again, real heavy to be thrown, or to be, you know, have a lot of momentum. So for me, it's just a great little chopper, and another self-defense, you know. On the bag itself, this one is set up to be about a month and a half worth of survivability out there. You know, FEMA's going to say do 3 weeks, 1 week, but a lot of survivalists say, you know, do 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I tend to prepare for the worst, so my pack's a little bigger, a little heavier, but where I'm at, there's not going to be as many resources, so I have to kind of take the resources with me. So in the top part of my pack is kind of what I can get at real quick. It's something that I like to have, binoculars. It's kind of, for me, I want to be able to see what's coming, have just that extra set of eyes. Of course, every bug out bag's got to have a really good military compass, and the thing is, you got to learn how to use it for people that don't know. I use the military grade insect repellent in the top part. Also, a good pair of tactical gloves. These are Kevlar gloves, so they're fireproof. They have some great padding in them. I usually have the hard knuckles, but sometimes for long uses that tends to get a little wearing. So these are really nice. They're thin enough, yet thick enough. You know, your hands are really, really important. So out in the woods, always keep those on, from keeping you from getting chigger bites and stickers. You know, when your hands go down, you're in trouble. Your hands and your feet, you got to protect them. So good pair of gloves are there. I also have backup. I always have backups to backups. I also have a light pair of polar fleece gloves that are a lot warmer. Also in the top pack, I'm going to have signal mirror to be able to signal. Along with signaling, I don't know if you can catch this, but I also have this neon tape. Again, it's another signal device, but I also use it to help mark trails. So if you're going into an area that you're not sure where you're at, or the trail is a little thick, I'll mark that occasionally so that I know kind of where I've been, and it also lets people know where I'm going. So if I am lost, there's little markers that are going to be able to find him. Also, when you're in that rescue situation where you need somebody to see you, taking about a dozen of those, putting them on a big pole, you know, you have that contrast. That's really going to help get you spotted out there in the woods. Along with that signaling, of course, you have your survival whistle. I have the 6-in-1 survival whistle, which is a pretty nice little unit. It does have a small mirror in here and a magnifying glass to help start fires. It has a temperature gauge. It also has a compass, so I have a backup to my other compass, and a small little LED light, so if I need to, you know, not give away a position, but yet be able to still read a map, this is going to be a really good source. So really nice little package, very small, ultra lightweight, nice piece. Fire, again, I have a backup to the backup, another backup, the backup. This one I really like because it's a little sparky. It's called a little sparky, and I've been testing a lot of fire starters, and you know, next to this one, which is your regular Bic lighter, which is your first act. That's the easiest one. But when this runs out, which it will, you've got these, which won't, you know, these will last a good 10,000 fires. But this one can be done with one hand. It's not a two-hand. So if you are injured, this is a great way to do it. So I like this one a lot. I also carry some extra magnesium, so if I really want to, you know, scrape that off and make a big fire if it's really wet scenario, this helps. So it's just wrapped up with some tape right now. And again, I usually try to keep everything in little compartments, so when I'm grabbing it, I know where it all is, and it works out nicely. So I'll leave that off to the side. And of course, a magnifying glass is the final backup to the backup of the fire. Can't have too many backups. Okay, so lighting, definitely recommend getting yourself a tactical light. Not a, oh goodness, you're not looking at one of these cheap let's throw in some double D batteries, that type of a light. This is like what I consider a professional light. It's really strong. It's a defensive weapon. This one actually has serrations at the top, so if somebody actually came at you, you could use this as a defense weapon. But it's going to blind somebody. It's going to really light up the night for you. So it's definitely a must-have. I put a lanyard on it as well, so it allows me to hang it around my neck so I can go hands-free when I need to, but you're not going to lose it. It's important. Also, 2 backup lights, which would be for your headlights. Love these when you're out there hiking, hands-free kind of a deal for trail walking. Obviously I have backup batteries for both of these, but I always have a backup to this. But I cannot imagine being out in the woods without having a headlamp. So they're really lightweight. They make them water resistant. This one is nice. I like this one because it has red. So if you don't want to give away a position, and still be able to read a map, you can use this. So it draws less attention to yourself. And of course you have this one still is a backup little mini light as well. So light sources are there. And let's break into a couple of the packs here. I wanted to point out before I put this away in the sack, I tend to separate all my gear with these really neat little laundry sacks. They're really bright colored, again, for more signaling if I need to out in the woods if I want to get rescued. But these things can go and make a lot of other tools out there. I've used these to be minnow nets, crawdad catchers. It's amazing what you can do with a little ingenuity. So it's just a light mesh, but it really does amazing things as far as collecting stuff. In a pinch, it can also be a bug mosquito netting to put over your face. Pretty crazy, but it helps. I also have in here a small little fishing kit, also sewing kit as well in here. So we're dealing with safety pins. We do so much with safety pins, extra buttons, thread, heavy duty thread, and also can opener, and small little fishing kit that has probably about 400 yards of fishing line on both of them. Brand new tests. I tend to go with a little heavier gauge because you can use fishing line for sewing up a wound, to making tripwires or snares. So I usually carry a little bit extra of that. Going on to, that was actually going into my first outside pouch because this is the stuff I use the most. I also got in here some tinder and some other fuel sources, again with backups to the lighters or to the other fire implements I have. You have the matches and the lighters, but I also have just regular laundry lint. It's the best stuff. You cannot beat that when it comes to starting a fire. So a little bit of laundry lint goes a long way, so I'll keep a lot of that. I also keep one of these. It's a survival candle. Here in Arizona, I've had lots of different candles that I would carry in my packs, but the first time it reaches 110, you just got a big glob of melted wax. It really does nothing for you. This, I found with this tin, is going to last a lot longer, and if it gets hot, nothing happens to it. With this, it has a 3-wick system, so if I really needed to keep a low profile but still heat stuff up, I could light all 3 and be able to produce enough heat to heat any of the water I might have, or if I just want a little bit of light in the camp, I can just light 1. So great little source here. Love that. Of course, a great set of goggles is a must-have out here in Arizona, or anywhere really. Snow, ice, rain. You got to protect the eyes. These are really dark lenses for bright light, snow blindness, but really like these goggles. They do a great job. Along with that, I have kind of a do-rag, but I kind of went a little digital. The reality behind something to go over your head is real important to, if you're in the woods, to keep the chiggers from getting into the hair, the ticks and whatnot. Keeps the sweat off of your brow. I like to keep, without having a brim, I like to have to where I can see everything. So this tends to work a lot better for me, and it fits really nicely and ties up nice.